My diamonds, they tussling. My neck and my belly on. They call it for me and they. You want me like me and I look. Yeah. Her Rex on her. Yeah. Big Rex better calm down. Yeah. If you go around, come around. Yeah. Whole squad. Yeah. Squad goes on me. Yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes. Yeah. Farrakhan glass for the chosen. Yeah. You can go and get mad. Jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, man. Who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad. You too. Dripping my swag. Something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a vision.
You gotta picture me. Send me calling. Ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning my mansion. My peasants disgusting. Why don't you act like a Hoffman and go get to dustin'? Yeah, latex on my. Go clean my crown. Can't hear my haters from way up here. They don't make a sound. Body goes on these. White paint on my toes. When I see that new bay alert. Gonna be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no?
I never anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the. I told him the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning. Skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning. I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning. I had a sis by the morning. I got on a meat, no pneumonia. The rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder. You got a vision.
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Tonight, it's all on the line. We play for the Lombardi Trophy. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it is our extreme privilege to be on hand for the Super Bowl. And I can't help but look down on this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It's the AFL, NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the Green Bay Packers winning the first two that got us kicked off and started towards where we are today.
And with the whole world watching, at the end of this game, at the end of tonight, one of these two sides, they get to etch their name in NFL immortality.
No doubt about it. They hold up the ultimate symbol of victory in this league, the Lombardi Trophy.
Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On second down, here's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Carter. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
The first carry now. This is Johnson pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
To throw on second is Watson, and that is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Drops it to Blue, complete. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll be fourth down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player as well as a physical specimen.
He'll air this one toward Coleman. Oh, wide open, complete. And he'll be down deep into Houston territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 72 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
A chance for the first score of this Super Bowl. Here's 1st and goal. From the shotgun, Ryan. This will be caught just inside the 10. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. To throw is Ryan. Forced out to his left. And finding the tight end Hooper. They'll wind up getting 7 on the completion, but they'll still be faced now with a 3rd and goal situation.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Hey, let's go!
Bryant keeps it on the sneak, and he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. With the first touchdown of Super Bowl 53. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Texans set to come onto the field. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Out of the gun, Watson. Over the middle, complete. It's Carter. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. His second catch of the Super Bowl, and it's good enough for a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Showed the nice footwork and then hit and drop shy of the 45. Give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Again, it's Watson. He's going to air one out. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 15. After the interception, here's Ryan. Buying time to his left. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the... Throwing now, Ryan on 1st down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st.
Always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. On the heels of that good carry by Devontae Freeman, here's 1st and 10.
39.
The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And down to the 36-yard line here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Hey, let's go. 11. Right. Gun.
Now Ryan on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Jadeveon Clowney in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. Now he'll go deep down the middle. This is caught inside the 15. That goes for a gain of 31.
There's obviously nothing shy about the guys dialing up offense here. They take a shot on third down, and boy, did they get rewarded, even though there was good defense on the play.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play.
Well, so much for all the time that you spend in practice, because for offensive linemen and running backs to get in sync, that requires a ton of practice time, a ton of watching tape together, a ton of really getting to where you're thinking with one mind on every single play that's called, every single run, because you want to know how your guy's going to block it. They want to know how he's going to run it, what kind of cuts he's going to make, and it's really anticipatory. And when you're really locked in together, you know what he's going to do before he actually does it. On this play, that didn't happen at all, and that turned into a big loss.
Third and long, it's Ryan. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find one to get you into the end zone and get you 6?
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And here comes the Texans now. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do they do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Eluding the pressure right. He goes full extension, and he's got it. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a 1st down.
When the spotlight is at its brightest, and let's face it, it's the Super Bowl, those types of plays come out, don't they?
Absolutely. A big-time catch on the biggest of stages.
Do you think that one's going to live on? We're going to see this for a long time.
Definitely going to live on forever with him, that's for sure.
No doubt.
Give him 4 yards on the play, and that will lead us into the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back on Super Bowl Sunday after this. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Watson. And his throw is incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they were able to churn some clock. They got the field goal, added onto their lead. But that was a drive that was so long, it should have ended in a touchdown. You know that's how they felt.
And we'll both be headed to the airport after the game. But we probably should go to the post-game press conference because someone's going to ask the head coach about this drive. And he's going to profess that he was happy to get points. And we know that's not true.
Yeah.
Okay, after this type of a drive, not getting a touchdown, a huge disappointment.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
21.
Freeman again, a first down carry. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Left. 21. 21.
On 2nd down, Ryan. Flushed out right. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On 3rd down, Ryan. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. That'll be a 47-yard punt officially, 5 on the return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Come back.
Watson on 1st down. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Tack McKinley in there to get him for a loss of 5.
Well, Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, here's Watson. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Final play of the first half, barring a penalty, as they come up on 1st and 10. And with time running down, so the halftime show of the Super Bowl abbreviated, ready to go for the second half. So we've come upon halftime here in Super Bowl 53. The halftime show, quite a spectacle, but it's back to football for the second half of Super Bowl 53. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a second down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a Turkey Bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
On second down, Freeman. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now third down. The Falcons on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, it's Ryan. And he will find Ridley on the left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Matt Bosher now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and peel downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Richmond.
Here's Watson looking to throw on second down. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Going to need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? Watson operating from the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. To throw on second down. Ryan spinning away. He goes underneath to Freeman. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 6 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. From the gun, Ryan. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. run here with Freeman. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. And now out comes Houston. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. To throw is Watson. From the gun, he'll throw. Over the middle, that's caught by QT. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now Watson. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10.
Richmond.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brian Poole, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Freeman again. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. The tackle that time by Zach Cunningham.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the gun on 3rd down, Ryan. And this one is incomplete.
But they're certainly being aggressive here. It's like being a sprinter in a 100-meter dash, exploding out of the blocks, trying to push the ball downfield. Guaranteed this defense better be on their toes. They're going to be tested all game.
This is taken at the 15. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. And now out comes Houston. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, That does him no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
And he slides to avoid the hit. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Watson hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no
yardage. Okay.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun, Watson. He's got his man on the crossing route. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. On 1st down, Watson. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Flush to his right. This will be caught inside the 10. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Come back, come back. Come back, come back. Come back, come back. Come back, come back.
To the air yet again, Watson. And it is caught. Touchdown, Texans. As his guys are in for 6, and the Texans get a bit closer. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. On 1st and 10. It's Ryan. He's going to float this over the middle, deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete. The former first-round pick, Kareem Jackson, there defensively. Despite the lead here in the 4th, they're still taking shots.
Not content to sit on this lead at all. And to me, it raises the question of what's right in this game nowadays. Do you sit on the ball and run it because you have enough of a lead? Or do you try and extend it because you always feel like the other team can come back?
Extend it. Have some fun. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
To throw on 3rd down, Ryan. Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of. Otherwise, he was going to get sacked.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he finds a man on a crossing route. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. You're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. He's got his man on the crossing route. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Here's Watson. The hook up on the right side to Hopkins. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Tiger. Come back.
Watson looks to throw again. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Tiger. Richmond.
Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. Going deep for Hopkins. That's caught inside the 20. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a first down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. From the red zone now, Watson. And he's got it. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Kiki QT from 19 yards away. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. And his kick is good. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Ryan wants to throw it. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
I got kicked out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. And now the Texans want to call another timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The Falcons on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now the pitch to Freeman. And he's taken down right at the 45-yard line. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Time for this one final knee to put a bow on this title bout. And it's over. The Lombardi Trophy belongs to the Falcons. Yes, the Atlanta Falcons are...
Out, valet, walk out, all these bands I lost count, cause I'm too up right now, too up right now. I'm too, on one day on my 3rd, I was too broke, now I'm too rich, made 100K on my 3rd shift, I'm a boy, so, boy, and I'm a gangster, and you a, boy, man, we been getting money for a long time. We was out here hungry for a long time. I don't never really handle punchlines. And all you rappers get like punchlines. Right right now. Right now, need crew up right now, cause we two up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. Ooh, I'm up right now. First I pull up, hop out, valet, walk out. All these bands I lost count, cause I'm two up right now. Two up right now. Yeah, I'm two up. Round blew up, copped that new rape on them haters. Threw up, brother went to jail for them. Told me you up. First time I seen 100 bands, yeah, I grew up. Ooh, on the couches with my shoe up. And we was getting that record label money before they knew us.